Hey brothers, what you gotta do? Man, I gotta play guitar. I gotta do dancing. I gotta do muscle building. I gotta get a puppy dog. I gotta do this. I gotta get a sports car. I gotta get this, blah, 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 just to get girls. Just to get girls. That was always a topic when I was a kid, right? Do this and do that, you get girls. You attract girls, this and that. Little did we know that the bad boys always win, huh? Yeah, that looks awesome. I like this. All right. Out of nowhere, I was been thinking about this topic. My car's broken down. Thank God. I don't know what to do. It's funny how it came across to my mind about bad boys. Now, myself, I'm not a bad boy at all. I'm always attractive to ladies ever since I was a kid. So that topic is out of the head. But when I look into it, and I see in today's world, right? Today's world, that woman who tends to prefer a bad boy, right, over a good guy. They can settle down with a good guy for a short period of time and they go back to a bad boy. I am not going to judge you for who you like or who you love. It is what it is in life. It's like us guys. We like girls with larger features. I'm not going to use that sort of words, but larger features, because it's in our bloody eyes. Our eyes are always into that, a beautiful face and a large beautiful features. Now the reason behind that a guy will get into a girl for beautiful features is because of, it's a lot more fertile and it can bring up high quality babies back in the days, right? That's what people believe. Like, especially, I'm from China. I'm a Chinese background. Why this coach is taking so long to come here? Okay, now that was the back in the days. If you have a wider hips for the ladies, and yeah, but obviously if you have a bigger bottom, back in the days the clothing is fully covered, so you don't see the curves and everything like that. But some cultures they do. But if you look at the Western cultures, the way how they dress is like that. So if you have larger breasts, they'll believe that you have more nutritious as for providing the milk for the child. And as well, if you have a larger bottom, then or waist, then it's easy for you to give a birth, right? But women in a different is a different. In the other hand, they're like bad boys. Now, what is to draw the links between bad boys and as well with the hunter-gatherer society? If we look back into, or leaders, right? If you look at lots of those medieval, or I don't know, like night movies, or how you gonna win my daughter for the king, and the king's or the emperor's child is, they go, all the soldiers or warriors, they fight amongst each other, and whoever's the winner, who marry to their daughters, all right, whatever how it is, all right, or you take the throne or whatever. It's a highly regards, right? Or if you're like a herd of, I don't know, a tribe, and you're the out of the man who stuck out, that you know how to hunt, you're very successful, high chances, and XYZ. Now, I know this video is going to last a bit longer because I wanted to elaborate all of them, and it is what it is. Now, when you look at the African wild dogs, right, the males, right, the male dogs, the ones who's successfully hunters, the main pack of the dogs, that person will get the most of the food resources, and as well the female selection. All right, so the way how they're surviving, or play dirty, or the tricks of the trades, or surviving, I think it's symbolized in today's world. Now, there's not much survival. We can survive. Well, I only can speak to myself. I live in Australia. That there's nothing that is very dangerous, and this is becoming the picture of the bad boys. The bad boys will do something, whether they're gangsters or drug dealers, or whether, I don't know, like or taking risky stuff. I'm pretty sure a woman will pick over a policeman, or perhaps a fire brigader man, or a pirate, or a vampire over a IT or engineer man. But in today's world, right? Back in the days, bad boys or successful hunters, back in the days, they don't use money. So it's like they use their life skills, experience, their physiques, confident, and all the woman will love to have a slice of that person because he has a very dominant sperm or genes, right? And you wanted to have your next generation to have one of his slice, right? That's the way how it goes. But in today, you don't get to see that. Maybe you get to see that maybe he's like a bad boy, maybe he's a sportsman, or maybe he has tatted arm sleeve, or the way how he dress, the way how he looks, and all that beard. I don't know why. I remember one of my classmates like, man, he looks like a bad boy, but I wouldn't mind give him a slice, just because he has a long big beard and everything. And I'm like, well, what's all the good guys are going through and everything, right? It's unappealing doing IT or engineer or doctors, right? It's not risky, but it is the way how it is, right? So that's how I'm looking into it. I think both of our male and female selection is different. One is wanted to pass on a great selection of genes, right, to their next generations. Now, regardless if it's going to be domestic violence or whatever violence ahead to control or this or that, I believe it's still control the narrative back in the days that it's making more appealing, submissive. Like I said, I don't want to go too full on about domestic violence. I don't want this to be full political, but I believe that it draws a lot. Now I've got to look at today's world, right? So a bad boy would not respond or play games or confident and know what he wants, taking risky activities. And those are the attributes, and there's a lot more attributes that is on, if you go on Google search or whatever, right? It is what it is. Obviously, the first look is their outlook. They behave differently. They draw the people that they wanted to draw. Very successful, the ones like that. Now, are they necessary, are good lovers or whatever? That is something that I cannot, there's no research on regards to that level. But is it gonna be that level? That in today's world, the bad boys, are they making as much money as IT or whatever? They can get jobs easy. Maybe the woman can sense their blood type that is maybe attractive to them. I don't know, maybe smell. Something got to do it as a very biological way for them to draw like that. Now, I know one of my, a long time ago, I know one of the shop owners, one of their daughters been telling me that women or ladies, when they walk in the public or go elsewhere, they do dream or do see a certain, I don't know how is this gonna work. I know that the subscriber always watch this video. Please answer this question, right? They wanted to have that person to rape them. I don't know, is this true? This is a female that daughter's been telling me. At times they wanted to get raped by that, I don't know, that certain man. Maybe that a bad boy look or whatever. And that's why she's been telling me that there's a reason why 50 Shades of Grey is popular, because they have this inner dark secret that wanting to be raped or have engaged in sex or whatsoever. Us dudes, we see a beautiful girl, we just want to smash. All right, I ain't gonna lie, all right? But woman is a different word, like they're wanting to be raped. And what she said, and I asked her to elaborate a bit more. And if you look back in the past, there is a lot of rape, right? When it comes to war, it's very inherent in their blood. When it comes to wartime, what happens when the other party wins? They slaughter all the men and all the boys' child and raped all the women and rebirth this colonized, join their pack. They multiply like gangsters. They multiply instead of, they multiply. They keep multiply. That's the way how it is back in the days. And I think that inherent genes is still holding on today. Now I'm going to come to conclusion, right, of today's world. The reason why I believe, and I like I said, this is coming out of my mind, all right? I believe that the reason why we have 42% divorce rate in Australia or other countries, I know Denmark is a lot higher, all around the world divorce is very, very high, is the fact that many women's selection is on the bad boy selection. And this is where it becomes a lot of domestic violence and X, Y, and Z or abuse, right? Male selection. Now, they avoid to accept the mothers or their own mothers and father to select their partner carefully. The ones who has, a high income earner, high value man, hypergamy, all right? Hypergamy, high socioeconomic, right? Instead, they'll find and attract and settle down with the wrong ones. And I believe it's not only just that. And back in the days, there's a thing called arranged marriage, or you're married to the person who goes to the church back in the days, I think, or family member says, I got this nephew, or I got this someone who's very good, who has a decent job, XYZ, and looking for someone. You don't get to hear that anymore. Or arranged marriage, or this and that. But that's why, like, at times, like Indian culture that has the arranged marriage, or Chinese culture, my culture, which is high selective, because of survival. Marriage is about survival, all right? It's not about the way how it is. Unfortunately, we're living as hypersexual society, and we tend to be a lot longer, all right? More than 80 or 90 years old. Back in the days, you only live up to, maybe you'll be lucky, really, really lucky enough. You classify as grandpa if you live up to 50 years old. We're not supposed to, 20s, 30s, and 40s, right? Those back in the days, family will marry off their daughters or son to someone who is financial stability or able to have the traits to bring food on the table. If there's no money involved back in the days, like those who knows how to build their own house, or have the skill and knowledge. Physiques are very strong, able-bodied, strong as well. That's what the family wanted to do. But now it has gone to the stage where it is globalization. We have a phone that you can swipe left or right or Bumble or whatever these places that you guys go to, to select your male selection, to have a piece and get a one-night stand, or perhaps there's a lot more higher chances of getting STDs than ever before. And men and women do not realize, because we're like this hookup one night stand culture, which is more like emperor's culture, or king or royalty culture. They're banging so much all day, all along, and all of us is having that slice. We like the deviant, we like the thrill and everything like that. I'm not gonna lie that the temptation is very strong. Right now, the attractive on a woman, they can cake their face up and dress a certain way to draw the men attention, where back in the days it's forbidden to do like that. If you gotta have the way the clothing and the makeup is usually you satisfy the husband at night. Now it's in the public eye, all right? And guys, we'll always be true to ourselves with our look. We don't have much makeup or anything. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to conclude with the bad boys. Now, I don't know. My car's still breaking out. I got 2 more hours to go, and I think that is the perfect way for me to analyze in the way how it is. Dangerous. They do more risky activity. Now they're playing more games. Now I did not know. Now a lot of these Tinders, a lot of guys and women, when they're playing a lot of ghosting or texting game, they know how to sweet talk, how to get to their brain. I mean, if I ask me to do this dating app, I can't even talk a couple of sentences, man. I think the first sentence or 2 sentences, the woman will never reply. Now it's a different ball game. I don't know how it works. I don't know. I don't think dick pics is ever gonna work at the same time. But I think it's a lot more into it than ever before. So the selection and everything, and especially in the Western civilization, will collapse when you have that sort of selection. Your entire bloodline ancestor who fought for war, who fought for for the bloodline, the last name that you carried on, has been diminished with this modern society, because now it's divorced, now you don't have kids, now you have that sort of culture. It's diminished. But those who are like very strongly conservative, faithful based, such as Islamic countries, Islamic faith, they are still the strongest in comparison to many cultures out there. Those who are very strong with culture, I think, with Islamic, and those who are very hardcore Christianity, and having the religion that's set by the country laws and things like that, are a lot more stronger and passed down the genes and your ancestors passed down. Now, one more thing before I go, right? The selections for hunter-gatherer society, or if you want to talk about the African wild dogs, right? Another one as well is that those who get the most selection and get the most of the selection of women or female are the ones who are allowed to be bred. Us nice guys, that when we in that sort of like the African, if we're going to put ourselves in the African wild dogs that has no rules or anything, they weren't supposed to mate to have the generation's genes to be passed on. So the dominated the wild dogs will get to there. Now, I don't know you guys know about this, but the leopards, right? The leopards, when they have, I don't know how many cubs, they have 4 or 6 cubs, right? They'll train as much as they can for the, I don't know, is it leopards or lions? They'll train as much as they can for the males, the boys, the cubs, to hunt, learn to survive. And females will tend to be abandoned at an early stage where they don't need to learn that much of that trait, because they can always find a male counter or male mate selection, right, and get bred. So the males were, and out of the, I don't know, I'm just saying, let's just say if I'm the leopard or the African wild dogs, I have like six of cubs, and let's just say out of, like, I have 3 boys, right? And the most dominant one is whatever is number 2 or number 3 will be the one that gets most mating selection, because he goes out and defend himself, defend the tribe, or have one-on-one fights, and he'll win. And that's how you do go through the ranking, right? That's in their prime. They're going to hit their prime. So that's where the males are getting the selection on their prime, right? Now, females in today's world, when they're on their prime, they don't want to get a settled down. When I mean by their prime is like they have all these choices, getting all these attentions, or whether it's a male or female, getting, you know, they can get laid or this and that. They wouldn't settle down unless when their health, when their looks, beauty, and things are hitting decline. That's when they started to get married. You get to see, sense, and see that with a lot of celebrities. Like that as well. So those are the overall. I'm pretty sure I've missed a couple of things, but I think it's for I think many people will watch this and look at this Bad Boys analogy. It's so deep to the stage that, you know, we, us nice guys, were meant to be bred out. We're not to be continue. But you know what? In today's world, right? Back in the days, the Bad Boys or the survivors, the High Legion survivor chain are the one. Now us good guys are the surviving chain, because we don't need to have a gun or sword or our fist to fight or defend, but we have top high value or high profession with a larger paycheck, salaries. So the Bad Boys, they can get jobs easy, but they can't hold on the job because that's their nature. They flexible, moving around. I think that's why a lot of girls are like that, you know, flexibility. But us, the nice guys, we are not attractive. We are not this and that, but we have the dollars in our bank account and the provider. But the women, they don't like the stability, and many of them divorce and go back to the bad guys. So I don't know this, the circle of life that I'm explaining in this video, under 20 minutes. I find it very funny and understanding. For me, I have no successful on dating or anything, so yeah, so for me, for this video, is very interesting.